What's up, guys? Everything you need to know about oil. I'm gonna get straight into it. I've been changing my own oil now for 20 some years. I've done all different types, regular, synthetic. Nowadays I only use synthetic, and I'm gonna cover why, okay? It's not because I like wasting money, because it is more expensive. First and foremost, the main takeaway that I want you to get from this video is if you choose to use regular oil, not synthetic, make sure that you do not let it go past probably, 4,000 miles between oil changes. Traditional oil changes in composition over time. You put it in the car, it looks healthy, kind of gold. 3,000-4,000 miles later, that stuff turns to a sticky, goopy, chunky mess, okay? And it's not helping your engine as much as it needs to. Now, let's get into synthetic. Synthetic was initially invented so that you'd never have to change your oil. That's a fun fact. Go ahead and Google it. However, you do still need to change your synthetic oil. It's not because the oil goes bad. If you were to drain the oil after 15,000 miles, it would look almost identical. Also, if you wanted to look at your oil pressure or your oil temperature, it would be almost identical on day one versus 15,000 miles out. However, when an engine runs, little metal particles get trapped in the oil filter, okay? And over time, that oil filter becomes less capable of doing its job. And so you do need to change the oil filter. And when you change the oil filter, you got to change your oil too, because otherwise you're going to have oil all over the place. It's going to be a big mess. All right, so that's synthetic versus normal, and it's also the window with which that you'll change it. I want to get into the weight of the oil. Sometimes people have a car that's going to call for, it'll say maybe 5W or 10W, right? How will you know which one to use? Well, if you're in a state that has all four seasons, summer, winter, spring, fall, and it gets real cold, but it also gets hot, you want to use the heavier weight during the hot months and the lower weight during the cold months. Let me tell you what I mean by that. If your car will take a 5W or a 10W, in the summer, you should put the 10W, and in the winter, you should have the 5W. That weight is the thickness of the oil, and if you use a heavier weight oil during winter, it's harder on the engine, okay? So if your vehicle calls for a range of weights, always use the heavier weight during the hot months, the lighter weight during the cold months. I think that's all I've got for you guys today. If you have any questions, comments, put them in the section below. Please give me a like or a subscribe. It helps me out. Have a good one, guys.